And welcome to Foxborough's Conservation Commission meeting of July 28, 2025 at 7 p.m. in the Gala Meeting Room. This meeting is broadcast live and recorded by Foxboro Cable Access. As a little request, our secretary is on a very well-earned vacation, so everyone please speak slowly and clearly so she can do the minutes when she returns. At this time, I'd like to turn the meeting over to Catherine for the reorg of the board.
Thank you. I will do my best here to accommodate this administrative process that we need to do every so often. At this time, the Conservation Commission will discuss and vote on the officers. So we'll take nominations and then vote on the positions of chair, vice chair, clerk, and liaisons for the Board of Recreation, NRRC, and Friends of Conservation. So can we start with the chair? Can we get any nominations for chair?
I'll make a nomination for Bob to remain as chair.
Okay.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. So I think that vote is just for the nomination, correct?
Well, for the, yes. For
Yes.
Also, okay, we can then do a final one for all of them.
Okay, sounds
Yeah.
good. So any nominees on nominations for the position of vice chair?
I nominate Jim Marsh for the vice chair.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Next is the position of clerk. Any nominations for clerk?
I'll nominate Rebecca.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any nominations for liaison for the Board of Recreation?
Nominate Rich Galimi.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Nomination for the liaison to NRRC?
I'll nominate David.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And finally, liaison for the Friends of Conservation.
Nominate, yeah. Yeah,
Tanya.
Tanya.
Tanya. I've got Nadia on my head. Okay, Tanya, sorry about that.
That's all right.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Are there any further nominations for any of the positions before we move on for one vote to confirm all of those? Okay. All right. So can I get a motion to approve all nominations for their respective positions to serve on, for the Board of the Conservation Commission reorganization for the coming year?
I'll make a motion to approve all the nominations for the reorganization of the Conservation Commission Board.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you all. I'll turn it back over to you,
Okay,
Bob.
thank you, Catherine. It's not 7:15, so do we want to get an update on 16 Garrett Spillane restoration update?
Yes. Rich and I visited the site Friday, and we met with Brian, and you have black and white copies of the various vegetation that has come back, and he's done a real good job after a year of keeping out the invasives. A lot of the good native plants are coming back, and most of his trees are still alive, except for the maples. Deer got those.
Okay.
But he's a good steward, to help replace that area next to the vernal pool. And there's actually water in the vernal pool over there.
Oh, wow. Very good.
So he said he's got one more year left
For the monitoring?
And his shed is outside the 100-foot zone, like he intended. That's all built.
Okay.
And they did a good job on that, in protecting anything from going downhill.
Okay,
So-
good. Thank you for that. And then we have the 8 Garrett Spillane tree removal request. Were you out there on that as well?
Yes, Rich and I were out there. He had already previously met the lady that had put that request in, which I don't see a copy of, but whatever it is. And he and I went out Friday. She said, just go out there. Rich and I would recommend that the red oak tree that they have concern of, that has rot at the base from a previous stem, that can be removed. And it can be done, it's over 100 feet from the vernal pool.
Okay,
So that can be done and probably laid down but with a crane. There's another tree that is bending over a creek, within 20 some odd, maybe about 40 some odd feet of the roof. Rich and I would recommend that it be aesthetically cut off 1/3 of the way up and removed. So that takes that danger away. But leave the rest of the stump that has a couple of sprouts coming out of it as part of
future
that
growth.
area.
What kind of tree is it?
That's a white oak.
Okay, all right. All right, that will continue then. All right,
Ryan? Oh, we're all done. Unless you want to say something,
I thought it started at 7, no?
it did.
You were just quick.
Moving quick.
Quick?
Yeah, we're moving
Yeah.
quick.
Oh, I thought there was like a full agenda.
There is.
Okay, come on now, or?
If you'd like to give us an update from your point of view,
Oh, yeah, geez, sorry, I'm late.
that's all right.
I thought it was gonna go much longer, but, yeah, so a lot of the stuff I planted last April, I think is doing fairly well with a lot of the ground cover, the bearberry, blueberries, and sweet fern. The trees were a little more challenging, but there's been a lot of naturally growing trees that I've kept around, I guess. So that stuff seems to be doing well, and it's filling in, and yeah, so just want to give you an update and see if there's any recommendations or anything like that.
if you notice in his packet, the second page, he has a list of what he's been monitoring of all the different plants,
Yep.
which is better than I've seen from others.
Yeah. I would say you've been doing an excellent job.
Okay.
Certainly, thank you, because that was a mess which you inherited. It's one of those unfortunate situations, but you're making it go back to nature as it should have been. So
Okay.
certainly appreciate that.
Appreciate that as well. There was one more item that, so the shed area that we had completed, there's just a couple more things I need to do from a landscaping standpoint. It's kind of, I don't know if I'm in the 100-foot or not, it's like right on the edge. There's just like a small, like probably, I think it's 10 or 15 feet stone wall that just needs to be completed, and then we'll just put river rock in there just as the bed, and I just wanted to run that by everyone before I did anything there.
As long as you stay right along that line, that would be fine.
Yeah, okay. I think that's it.
Okay?
Yes.
Anyways.
Okay,
so-
and did you sign in when you came in?
I did, yeah.
Okay, good, okay.
Perfect, all right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
We appreciate your efforts down there.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks for the advice, too.
Yeah.
It is nice. It is growing nice.
Yes, I know it is.
It exceeded my expectations.
8 Goodwin Drive, we have a request for a certificate of compliance. Okay. Mr. Buckley, you got any comments on the Goodwin Drive?
Unless you have any questions, Mr. Chairman?
I would recommend that we take a site visit before we approve it.
Okay,
We got too many projects on Goodwin Drive and one that's a failed.
okay.
I haven't been down there since they started work on that, and
Yeah.
don't know if even Natty went down there when they started working.
Well, it's all, the last time, so I don't know when I submitted that, maybe 2 weeks ago, when they had grass, it was starting to come up. It definitely wasn't full, but it's coming up. So, yeah, take a rock down there. I'm sure it's even better than it was back then.
Is this the one next to the easement to the
Yeah.
the back?
I think that's the one. It's the one. It's the pond's on the left. So there's the fence, and the pond is on the, so as you're looking at the lot, there's the basin, they got a fence, the basin's on the lot, and then there's the lot. So, yeah. Okay. Whatever you guys want to do.
So this will be on the left side of the basin.
This is on the right side of the basin as you're looking at it.
Okay. Has the easement been marked up?
There's a fence there,
Is the fence there? Is it a fee or is it easement?
easement.
Easement.
It's an
okay.
easement.
You still want to look?
Yep.
Okay. Would it hurt for another 2 weeks?
Hey, you're the commission. If you want to see it, then go see it.
Okay. All right. We'll put that aside for a site visit then. Unless somebody else has an opinion.
No, but David, let me know when you want to go look at it, and I'll
Okay.
go check it out with you if I can.
Okay. Then we have 27 Connie Drive. Request for certificate of compliance. That one's in my neighborhood. I could walk by it all the time. I'm happy with it. So I think we should issue a certificate of compliance. Somebody want to make a motion for that?
What was the work? What was the work?
Septic.
That's fairly new, right?
Yeah,
What?
that was pretty recent, right?
Yeah, was that recent?
Yeah, it's been completed now, a month or two.
Okay.
Yep. And they brought the leaching fuel in the front of the house, tank in the back, and piped around.
Okay.
So,
I'll make a motion to issue a certificate of compliance for 27 Connie Drive, DEP 157648.
do I hear a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None? Okay, 7. Okay. I don't see any representatives for Strong Point.
I think they're on Zoom.
Oh, they zooming in? Okay. Damn, I hate that. All right. Would you read the notice, Lynn?
Okay. Pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, the Wetlands Protection Act, and Foxborough's Wetlands Protection Bylaw, Chapter 267, the Conservation Commission will open a public hearing on Monday, July 28th, 2025, at 7:15 p.m. in the Gala Meeting Room, Foxborough Town Hall, 40 South Street, or via Zoom, on a notice of intent filed by Susan Tribuna for proposed common driveway to service 2 single-family dwellings off Old Wallamallapog Street, Assessors Map 49 and 50, parcels 1 and 2. Portions of the proposed work lie within 100 feet of a resource area. The application is available for public inspection in the Conservation Office at Town Hall. This notice can also be found on the Massachusetts Newspaper Publishers Association website. Thank you.
Thank you. And
Yes, for the record, Eric Dias, registered professional engineer, Strong Point Engineering, representing Susan Tribuna for Old Wallamallapog. I apologize. I intended to be there in person tonight, and I ended up double booked. And unfortunately, the only way I could get myself out of the jam was to do everything through Zoom. So I would prefer to be there with you, but here we are. You may recall that we discussed this project very informally back, I think it was September of 2024. And I'm going to share my screen just as a refresher. The plan that we looked at that time was this one. Are you able to see the screen? Yes.
now we can, yes.
Okay, great. So the property is about 43 acres in total. And it is bounded by the Foxborough Sharon Town line to the north, The railroad is to the south, and Old Walla Street is an unimproved way to the east. Now, there is a subdivision plan in place with the town of Foxborough to develop and improve Old Walla Street, as is an agreement with the town of Sharon. The street itself is outside of the wetland resource areas, so that's not a subject of this particular NOI. What we had talked about informally last time is that the plan was to take that total 43 acres and create lots 1, which is here, lot 2, which is here, and then parcel A in the rear, which is about 32 acres, actually a little bit more. I think it's 32.15, and that's the parcel that is shaded in the purple color. We'll come back to that in a minute. So on the site, I'm going to zoom in on lots 1 and 2. There is a bordering vegetated wetland that spans all of lot 1 and extends a little bit into lot 2. And then there's a small intermittent stream that flows out of the bordering vegetated wetland toward the railroad track. And what we had discussed was the area on the east side of the resource areas is really not conducive to siting homes and siting septic systems in particular. There's a lot of rock, there's a lot of ledge, it's low-lying, and we really don't necessarily have the soils that we need to site septic systems. So the plan is to cross the resource area at its smallest point, which is the stream, and gain access to the buildable area of proposed lot 1 and proposed lot 2 on the west side of those resource areas. Now, obviously, the stream crossing requires a waiver from your bylaw, specifically from the 25-foot no disturb, and we'll get into what the design of the crossing is. But the other thing that we had discussed at the time as, I guess we'll call it mitigation for that proposed crossing, let me zoom back in here, was that 32-acre parcel A that's in the rear. It abuts land owned by the town of Foxborough Conservation Commission on the, we'll call this the south side, and that's what's highlighted in green. So the intention is for the owners to deed this parcel A to the town, sort of as mitigation for the proposed crossing and a betterment for the waiver request that's being requested. So if we go to the notice of intent plan, we can get into some more of the specifics. This is the plan itself that we propose. So I'm going to zoom in on the plan view a little bit. This is Old Walla Street that would be shown in its improved form. And this is the proposed crossing that we're proposing to bring in. We've kept it to the bare minimum that we can. We're proposing an 18-foot wide bituminous driveway. That gives us adequate room for 2 cars to pass should one be coming in and one be coming out, because it will be shared between the 2 lots. The alternative from sharing this driveway is to do 2 separate driveways, which you can see this dashed line here indicates where a second driveway might have been proposed at the thinnest point of the bordering vegetated wetland. Obviously, that would result in more wetland disturbance, more buffer zone disturbance, second waiver being needed, et cetera, et cetera. So we felt that that was not ideal, and even went as far as already securing the special permit needed for the common driveway with the planning board. The plan right now shows the driveway coming completely out of the 100-foot buffer and then, kind of taking a T shape to each lot. The plan, the houses are not included in this. This land will be sold. It is intended that the houses will be located outside of the 100-foot buffer, which is why they're not included in this particular filing. But there is notation on this plan that specifically states that if any further disturbance is ever proposed within the buffer zone, that it is required to come back for another filing. So that would be something that would happen separate from this down the road by another applicant. The intention now is to gain access, and the proposal to do that, if I zoom in, is to span this stream with a 36-inch culvert. I do have some photos that I'll share in just a moment. The stream in this location is about 1.5 feet wide. It's about 3 inches deep. I was out there in May when the stream was flowing, and I do have photos of that I'll share. So what we've proposed for the crossing is a 36-inch culvert that we have details of here, and we do give a breakdown of how it addresses the stream crossing standards. Now, from an embedment perspective in a crossing span, we exceed the requirement. The standard 5 substrate is going to be, we're going to match the existing substrate, so that pipe will be, we will be reintroducing any of the topsoil that's removed to install it. In the depth and velocity, the span is such and the grade is not changing that the depth and velocity of the stream will remain unchanged. The only portion of the crossing standards that we're not meeting fully is the openness. So the openness ratio suggested is 0.82. In order to achieve an openness ratio of 0.82, we would need a 30 square foot crossing in this location, which, if you do the math, we're 6 feet long, we're 5 feet tall. That is about a full-scale bridge in this case. That would certainly be a cast open bottom culvert with footings, et cetera, and it's frankly overkill in this location. And beyond being overkill, it would result in more disturbances within the buffer zones, which is why we shied away from that. I don't believe that it's the intent of the crossing standards to require such an extravagant crossing that would create a bunch more disturbance in the buffer zone for a stream that looks like this. And let me just, I'm going to stop this share and start another one so I can share some of the photos that I took while we were out there. Just give me a second to come across these. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so if I go back to sharing, that should be coming up in just a second. So this photo here, and let me zoom in a little bit. This is a photo that was taken right at the location that we're proposing the crossing. This is the thinnest point of the stream. We're calling this 20 inches side to side. It's probably a little bit generous, but the crossing that we're proposing is 36 inches, so it certainly spans that quite a bit more. As we continue through, this is just a view. This is looking downstream from where the crossing would be, just to show that we are proposing the cross at the thinnest point. You can see it sort of meanders and it widens out a little bit here and there. It's not a terribly well-defined channel through here, admittedly, and I don't think there's a ton of flow. So again, another reason why I don't think that there's a much larger crossing warranted. And then this is just to show the depth at the time that we were there. You can see where it's about 3 inches deep. So we would not be disturbing that flow or restricting it in any way. The grading around it is very, very modest by the proposed plan. And that's it. The only other thing that I will say is that we are proposing to sleeve utilities underneath. We will be bringing water utilities in, and it's obviously power and communications, likely to go overland, at least to the other side of the crossing, but we did propose a second conduit just in the event that they were going to go underground at that point. And we proposed adequate erosion controls around the whole thing. The plan also includes a protocol for how to construct the crossing, staging of construction, sequencing of construction, how to protect the wetlands, et cetera, but I won't go into more details about all of that unless you folks want me to. So I've certainly been rambling for long enough. I think those are the basics of it, and I am glad to answer any questions.
Okay, the first thing, going back to the cover page, the big plan, I don't think Stoughton is interested in the crossing at all. You've got Stoughton mentioned as in item number 12 under the notes. That should be.
Well, I apologize. That's probably just a carryover typo from a different project. We can fix that,
absolutely.
No problem.
Cut and paste. But if you could get us an updated plan showing Foxborough, please.
Absolutely. My apologies. I didn't catch that one.
Okay, Catherine, I have a question. Would the planning board have any issue with this as far as the size of the crossing or anything?
Not as it relates to the crossing. I think this project came for like another minor issue, but it didn't address this problem.
Okay.
I don't see any reason why it would.
Okay, I just didn't want to
Right.
approve something that somebody else has to. Okay. And have you talked to the water department? Are they happy with the 2 lines going in? Is that a dead end that, for the water department?
Actually, let me just share my screen again. So we spoke with the water department about, oh, that's the wrong one. Let me share. Okay, so I can bring the plan back up. My apologies. So we did speak to the water department about this when we went through the subdivision process. And you'll see here, we are bringing in water from Sharon. It is Sharon Water.
Okay.
That's part of the reason we have an agreement with Sharon. In fact, all services for this are coming through Sharon because there's no access in Foxborough. We did propose a hydrant at the end as a blow-off for what they require. And there are these 2 water services shown on the approved subdivision plan, which is also the plan that has the agreement with the town of Sharon. So the water department in Sharon is aware.
Okay.
And certainly as we pull building permits, they'll get another crack at this. And if there's any other questions, we'll address them.
All right. And one thing, you might want to put a cul-de-sac at the end of the T, just so for fire emergencies, they can get the trucks in and turn around. I think that's a Foxborough requirement, to have a cul-de-sac rather than a straight T.
Sure, and that's definitely something that we can address. Even if it was a cul-de-sac or a T, the intention is that that area where the pavement widens would remain outside of the 100-foot buffer zone.
Yeah. But it's one of the requirements usually that we get from the fire department, so the trucks can get in and out without unnecessary backing and whatever.
Oh, that's fair, thank you.
Does anybody else have any questions, comments?
If we get this land, if we get this later,
Yeah.
how do we get to it?
Well, it abuts,
have some
we
land.
already have some that abuts it, so.
That's right here. This electric company owns this, Mass Electric. This is Sharon Conservation. This is
like this.
Foxborough Conservation.
Yeah. But, okay,
Because we can't come in this way.
yeah. But,
He did go over, I feel we talked about access when he brought it in the first time with
Yeah.
the informal discussion. I don't remember exactly what the access was.
okay,
I can pull up a map that shows the whole thing if you give me just a second. And
Okay.
you would access this parcel, the purple one, through the green one. But I can pull up a map that would show the limits of the green one so we can determine where that access is if you give me just a second.
okay, thank you.
Sure.
Because either that, you access through here, if you can find that green space on that street,
Yeah,
or you come down the power lines.
yeah, but, okay. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to stop this share and I want to share another. So if you can see this is Mass Mapper. This is the property through here. This is the power line easement, and this is the East Street conservation area that is shaded in green on the plan that we just looked at. That connects to the Cannon Forge Estates conservation restriction. So I believe what we talked about last time is that East Street is currently accessed through Cannon Forge, I believe, and this would be accessed through East Street. It would really just be an extension of that.
Okay. All right. Yep. because I know where the accesses are through Cannon Forge in that area. Walked up many times, yeah. So, all right, thank you.
Do we have developed paths? And then do we have paths, trails that?
I'm not sure if there,
I've never walked that area.
I'm not sure how many trails. I know there's some in the Cannon Forge area, but I'm not sure in this other line.
And we could come down through the power lines
Yeah,
from the Sharon Road up there.
yep.
So it might be a little wet.
Well,
No, there's a road that goes right there.
yeah.
There's a service road.
Yeah, there's a road that runs right through here.
Yeah.
Any other questions, comments?
Just one question. According to your notice of intent, the flagging was all done in 2017. And I remember we went out there to take a look at it. The question is, has anybody gone out there to confirm if that has expanded or not expanded from the information we put on here?
Yeah, sure, that's a great question. So yes, it was flagged, I believe it was 2017, and it was confirmed through an ORAD at that time. I did go out and visually inspect the area. In fact, the photos that I showed you were taken in May, end of May of this year. I believe it was May 28th. I did take a look. A lot of the flags are still there, or at least the remnants of the flags. I didn't see anything that looked like it had changed significantly. And certainly not in the area where the crossing is, right? The photos that I showed are very representative of exactly where the crossing is and where that work would be taking place. So, maybe minor adjustments to the edge of the BBW here and there, but nothing that I think, that I believe would be significant or impact what we're proposing now.
Satisfied? As much as you can be. If there's nothing else, want to make a motion to close the hearing?
No, we can't do that. There's no DEP number yet,
No file
right?
number yet? Okay.
So it might make sense to schedule, you may as well schedule a site visit or something if you'd like
Okay.
to, just because we can't close it tonight.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Seems like a
There
good.
is one other thing.
okay.
If someone is donating land to the town and there's no clear-cut boundaries out there, we would request that bounds be put in on the corners and that can be located later and not buried.
Yeah, I don't think there's a reason we can't do that. We can certainly do some, I would suggest, just because of the size of this thing, throw some iron rods at the corners if that's agreeable.
That okay
Yeah.
with you?
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
In fact, I'm actually just double checking, because I honestly forgot to check if there is a notice of intent on this. I just want to take one last look to make sure it didn't come through today, but so just for confirmatory purposes is all. Does not appear that there is a number yet. Yeah, they have not posted it yet either. So I think we are stuck.
All right, we'll continue it to August 11th.
Get a motion on that?
Yep. Somebody want to make a motion to continue it?
Sure, I'll make a motion to continue the hearing for,
Off all old wall.
off Old Wallamala Pollock, that's difficult to say,
I guess it's
until August 11th.
I'll second that motion.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Right?
Opposed, not,
Thank you all very much. Just point of order, to schedule a site walk between now and then, just wait, reach out to the office once Diana returns. Is that appropriate?
sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I can also reach out to you as well. I can find your contact information if you want to get that started sooner. Happy to.
Perfect. In fact, why don't tomorrow morning I'll send you an email and we'll take it from there.
Great, thank you.
Good. Thank you.
Great. Thank you all very much.
Yep.
Put my name down for doing that.
Happily.
Me too.
All right. Next.
Next.
Pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, the Wetlands Protection Act, and Foxborough's Wetland Protection Bylaw, Chapter 267, the Conservation Commission will open a public meeting on Monday, July 28th, 2025, at 7:20 PM in the Gala Meeting Room, Foxborough Town Hall, 40 South Street, or via Zoom, on a request for determination of applicability filed by William and Tara Ivats for the construction of an in-ground pool with associated walls, patio, and fencing in the existing lawn area at 40 Neponset Heights Avenue, Assessors Map 44, Parcel 14, within 100 feet of a wetland resource area. The application is available for public inspection in the Conservation Office at Town Hall. This notice can also be found on the Massachusetts Newspaper Publishers Association website.
Thank you. Bye. Are you coming up, or is Mr. Buckley? Oh, he's going to stay back there. All right. Put you on the spot.
Yeah,
Okay. We've all got the plan, so you just want to tell us what you want to do, and
sure. So Billy Ivets I live on 40 Neponset Heights Ave. We're looking to put in an in-ground pool located behind the garage that we had already built, outside of the 25-foot, do not disturb zone. But obviously it's within that 100-foot barrier that you guys had mentioned earlier, so.
and you're going to have erosion controls.
Yeah, so similar to what we did, or same exact type of situation when we built the house and the garage, we would use a 12-inch or 9-inch, I gotta remember, silk sock, and then have a silk fence behind that, obviously to keep anybody from working or going beyond or into that 20-foot do not disturb zone. 25, sorry.
Okay. All right, Catherine and I were out there today, and it's previously disturbed area. It's lawn area right now, so it's nothing egregious. So, anybody have any questions, comments?
The proposed retaining wall, is that right on the
It's right,
on the 25?
yeah, it's right beyond the 25-foot do not disturb.
But you said you're going to put up the erosion control.
Yeah, so the erosion control
won't-
is the silt sock, and then I think what we did before was have the silt fence behind, on it, you know what I mean, right at that 25-foot do not disturb. We'll have Bay Colony come out and stake it out, and,
Because the concern is just putting in the wall that,
right, it's gonna be right on that, yeah.
Disturbed, so-
Yes, it's very close.
that sounds thorough.
But you're going to do, with the machinery, you're going to have it on the upper side.
Everything, yeah, exactly. It's kind of like, usually there was like an orange construction fence too, to kind of mark it so they would know, like, do not go past this area. I mean, but everything will stay on that side. There's easy access for the machinery to get to that area around the garage. You don't have to go over or in that 25-foot do not disturb zone at all, so.
And you're going to haul out everything, all the dirt? You're not
So yeah,
gonna
any
stockpile it?
excess dirt that is in the area, we'll truck it out off-site,
Okay.
so.
Any other questions, Tanya?
And it's going to be a saltwater pool, is it?
I'm sorry.
Is it, it's a saltwater pool?
Yeah, so we want to stay away from the chemicals as much as possible, being, on the lake, so it'll definitely be a saltwater.
I don't know anything about pools, but do you have to like drain when you drain the pool for the winter?
So,
What you
it's,
do with that water?
that's something that I don't believe, you only lower the level a little bit.
Okay.
But you do not have to drain it. And again, I think that's something that's, again, a pool person, obviously, I don't know exactly the correct answer to that, but but, so I'm not sure.
Okay. You know you're not going to pump it into the...
Oh, yeah, exactly, yeah, I do know that, yes.
That's my main concern.
Yeah,
As long as the
no,
water from the
understood.
pool's not going across
Yeah.
into the no disturb zone, then we're good.
So one question, it seems like this house was built within the 100-foot buffer?
Yep.
Was there a formal order of conditions? Or
So yeah, there was an order of conditions that we had to follow. Actually, the previous home that was there was actually, I think it was like 16 feet away from the Neponset reservoir. We actually moved the house as far back off the reservoir without disturbing the existing septic that was new, because it was like 4 or 5 years old when we had built the home. So we moved it as far off the lake as possible to get it out of that 25-foot do not disturb zone. And same with, there was a garage that was there. We pulled that out actually, and then built the new garage further away. We also kind of changed the plan. We were going to do a little bit more of like a driveway, and we moved it to the front of the house to kind of keep that area more natural and try not to disturb the ground too much as well over on the side.
So did we give you a certificate of compliance?
I believe you did, right? Yeah, we got the certificate of compliance.
Okay.
So,
Because they actually, it was, the original was
Yep.
in that area, so they moved everything back. Any other questions, comments? Or make a negative determination?
Sure. I make a motion to give a negative determination.
We have to close first, right? Close the hearing. This is a hearing, right?
It's not a hearing
No.
per se.
Okay.
We can
Diana's
close.
notes say motion to close the discussion.
Okay,
So I'll make a motion to close the discussion on 40 Neponset Heights.
I'll
Request
second.
for determination.
discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None?
And now I'll make a motion to issue a negative determination for the RFD for 40
The
Neponset
negative
Heights.
is good for you.
okay, good.
I know it sounds bad, but it's what you want.
But I'll take a negative if it's good.
Do I hear a second on that?
Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? You're all set.
All right, thank you very much.
More than welcome.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
People zooming in. Kinsman Way.
What's that?
Oh, he's going to zoom in, the Kinsman Way people?
Oh, no.
No.
Mr.
No.
Buckley.
Okay, Mr. Buckley.
Mr. Buckley is going to
Excellent.
do the honors.
Pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, the Wetland Protection Act, and Foxborough's Wetland Protection Bylaw, Chapter 267, the Conservation Commission will open a public hearing on Monday, July 14th, 2020.
Yes, that was,
Yeah.
our...
It was an
yeah.
old one. 2025 at 7:05 PM in the Gala Meeting Room, Foxborough Town Hall, 40 South Street, or via Zoom on a notice of intent filed by Seven Hills Holding LLC for the construction of a single-family home with associated grading, utilities, and driveway at 4 Kinsman Way, Lot 2, Assessors Map 112, Parcels 8 and 2. Portions of the proposed work lie within 100 feet of a resource area. The application is available for public inspection in the Conservation Office.
Read for you. Share my screen. So, as I said, good evening. So this project is, and I know you just read the first one. So we actually have two here tonight, 2 and 4, Lieutenant Kinsman Way, which is the old Pioneer Estates subdivision off of 204 East Street. So the The land has been cleared, the roadway subdivision roadway has been brought to base course of pavement, and actually we filed with the planning board a request for a lot release for all of the lots. And we'll be posting a bond and meeting with them, I think it's next week, not sure, whenever it is. So what we're before the commission for this evening is the first two lots on the left. So I think if you recall, and maybe you can just look here, I know it's, certainly I find it hard to see, it's not a great screen, but there's two lots there on the left, and they both fall under the commission's jurisdiction. And if you take a look at it, or if you recall, we had a crossing there of that isolated wetland. We built walls on either side. There's a culvert that goes underneath it that connects the isolated wetland to the, almost to the bordering vegetated wetland adjacent to the Wading River. And then as you go up the hill there on the left, we've built a stormwater basin. I don't know if anybody's had a chance to go up there. And that's been all roughed in. And the last time I was there, which was probably a week or so ago, they had hydro-seeded it. So the drainage system is operational. All the structures are in and are to grade. So the first two lots on the left fall under the commission's under the commission's jurisdiction for two reasons. The first is there's bordering vegetated wetlands, which if you're looking at that drawing up on the screen is the light green. So that's the BVW on that as well. But it also falls under the commission's jurisdiction because it's in riverfront area. So that's any land within 200 feet of the riverbank. And what I'm going to show, if you kind of follow my finger here, you can see that is right through here. It's the blue line, is the 200-foot riverfront area. So that's it. And you can see that for the most part, well, not the most part, a lot of it falls under number two, or lot two. It's number two and lot two. So the first house on the left, and most of the backyard is in it. The septic system lies within it as well. And then as you go, I'm going to talk about lot 4 as well, just because it goes together. So lot 4, as you look to the north here, you can see the riverfront area, and that's pretty much only that portion of the site or the lot that we're doing some grading. And what I want to point out to you, and I know I should have changed the color, but it's, sometimes you're just trying to, there's too many colors in here. But if you look and see what I'm showing you, there's a roadway back there. There's a gravel road. And I'm not even sure if it should still be there, but the existing house was down in this area here. And then in the back, so this area all through here was grass and developed. And in the back, you can see the kind of what we show a wood line. And that is a gravel roadway that goes into the back of the lot. And it also goes over here off to the left as you're looking at the drawing toward the river. That area is already disturbed, and it is considered, and I can't think of the correct term, but either if it's pavement or building or gravel, there's no vegetation, it's considered disturbed and already altered, previously altered area. So that's important because some of our discussion that we're going to talk about this evening, and it's in our report, is when we talk about the alteration of the area within the riverfront area. So during the initial discussion, or with the discussion we had with the commission when we did the roadway, we had to lay out all of the activities that were going to happen for the roadway and the future activities, or what we were guessing would be the future activities, would be on these two lots. And at the time, we had a lot of discussion with John Thomas, who was acting agent, this was last June, about it. And at the time, what we did is we looked at the total alteration. And then what you have to do when you're doing the total alteration, you back out. You look at that pond and go, wow, that's a lot of alteration. That doesn't count. So the pond doesn't count as alteration because it's a stormwater element within the riverfront area. And then you look further down, and you look at all that area on the left as we come up that hill and go, wow, that's a lot of alteration. That doesn't count, because a lot of that area is being restored as riverfront area. So we put plantings in there. So really what we're looking at, after we've done all of that work and did all that math under the previous order, is we could alter about 5,000 square feet of new area that it hadn't been previously altered. And that's what we've done here. We have, for example, on both lots, we have a total of new disturbance of about 4,091 square feet. So if you look at that and look at the area in the riverfront, you back out the area that was previously disturbed, any building that was on there, any of the gravel, and then you back that out of the number. So the new disturbance is 4,091 square feet, which is less than the 5,098 square feet of what we had left over when we were calculating it based on the roadway. Lot 2, with the first one on the left, also has some activity in the buffer zone. So if you kind of follow my finger again, so I'm starting over here on Lot 2, you go down, you can see the red line in this particular case, red. Let me zoom in. Make it easier for us to look at this. That's much better.
It is much better.
So here's the 100-foot buffer zone line. Here, it goes through and out. So this is buffer zone, as I talked about earlier, from the BVW out there. And for lot 2, which is this lot here, which contains the pond as well as the house, what we've done is we've kept the septic system outside of it, and it's going to be a fast system. So it's a nitrogen reduction system. And this is not in a zone 2 in Foxborough, but because it's within 150 feet, this local bylaw, your commission bylaw, requires us to have a nitrogen reduction system. So as long as it's 100 feet, but less than 150, and that's what we have here is a nitrogen reduction septic system. You can see there's walls along the edge here. And again, what we're trying to do, instead of grading out, what we're trying to do is limit the amount of grading that we're doing. So we've placed those walls there along the edge, and we've put the house as close to the roadway as possible. The minimum setback in Foxborough from a street is 35. We've set this house at 36. So we really can't go much further back than that. If you look on lot 4, which is the next lot over, you can see in the 100-foot buffer zone, there's no activity within the 100-foot buffer zone on lot 4. All of the alteration is in the riverfront area, but there's no buffer zone setback. And in that particular case, that septic system is well outside the 150-foot setback. The activity, I'm just looking at my notes, on lot 4, the closest activity is 150 feet from the river. That's the grading in the backyard. For lot 2, we're 131 feet from the river, the closest activity, 44 feet from the BVW because of this, in this corner here, where, we're within, you can see where we're within 50 feet. The buildings will be served by municipal water, as you can imagine. We'll have water. We don't know if it's going to be gas or propane. It's 99% going to probably be propane because it's so hard to work with the gas company nowadays that a lot of developers have chosen to go the propane route. So what that is, it's underground. And it will be, again, well outside the buffer zone and outside the riverfront area. So I think I'll stop right there and see if you have any questions.
I guess I have a procedural question for you all. Do you want to go ahead and open the other public hearing now? That way you can ask questions on both projects.
Sure, yeah.
Pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, Wetland Protection Act, and Foxborough's Wetland Protection Bylaw, Chapter 267, the Conservation Commission will open a public hearing on Monday, July 14th, 2025, at 7:10 PM in the Gala Meeting Room, Foxborough Town Hall, 40 South Street, or via Zoom on a notice of intent filed by Seven Hills Holding LLC for the clearing associated with site preparation of the lot at 6 Kinsman Way, Lot 4, Assessors Map 112, Parcels 8 and 4. Portions of the proposed work lie within 100 feet of a resource area. The application is available for public inspection in the Conservation Office at Town Hall. This notice can also be found on the Massachusetts Newspaper Publishers Association website.
Thank you, Tanya. All right. Catherine and I were out today, and it's all staked out, so thank you for that. A little bit rough territory to walk around, but
Yes.
I think we found everything of importance. And on, number lot 4, what is the drop-off there? That thing seems to have taken a dive down off the...
It's a, so the first floor elevation, or top of foundation for Lot 2 is 205, and the top of foundation for Lot 4 is 219. So there's a 14-foot elevation differential between the two lots. And it's pretty close, as you pointed out. So, yeah, so the driveway is about elevation, what's that, 210, and, you know, the yard next door is 198. So you're looking at a 12-foot drop. It is quite a bit. The grading is going to be a challenge there, and what we've done is we've shown that as it comes down, if you're looking at the drawing, as it comes down from 4, we've kind of directed it to the back, so it doesn't hit the other foundation and create a water problem for somebody's basement.
So that steep slope on that lot is already existing.
Yeah, it's a rock, right? Isn't it just a huge chunk of
Yeah.
ledge right now? Yeah, it's a huge chunk of ledge.
And then you'll basically be clearing to the bottom of it, is that?
I wouldn't say to the bottom, but we're going to knock it down. Let's see. We're going to knock it down. It's probably at elevation 212, 214. So actually, no. We're probably going to take it on a couple of feet. I mean, within the foundation area or within the garage area, it'll have to come down more.
Yeah.
But it pretty much meets the road. That driveway, the grade out there at the street is about elevation 04, and then the garage floor is about 211. So it'll be a pretty steep driveway in that particular case. There's a lot of rocks out there, and what the contractor's planning on doing, he's already done it partially, is he's going to crush them and screen them and use them. You know, so he'll be using them. He's already used them under the road in some areas, and he'll be putting them under foundations, stuff. So that's his plan. I talked to him maybe a week ago. I don't know when he's going to bring the crusher back, but, you know, all those, the last time I was there, I don't know what he's done, but both sides of the road were boulders, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's going to clean that all up. He's going to put it on one lot and then crush them.
The neighbors aren't going to like them.
No, probably not.
The sound
They
and the
already don't like them,
vibrations.
so.
Yeah, I know it.
Rich is way in down by the pond, and he said you could feel it in the ground.
Who is it?
Rich, going?
Oh, he lives down there?
Yeah, they're on across the street,
On
down near
Beaumont's
the
Pond?
end, so right on the pond.
No kidding. Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt. It is what it is.
So, not to have any possible mistakes, can the limit of clearing be marked out closer so that we don't have this, somebody going over that line and cutting a tree on the other side?
Did we mark the limit of clearing? Is that what we put in there for you? Or was it the walls and the building?
The wall and the building as well,
Walls-
and the
walls.
septic systems.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
There's no question. And we can do a sidewalk too, before we start clearing.
okay.
And when Rich and I were out there, where you got the stormwater basin,
Yep,
when you come off the road, and there's another little basin in there, is that, I don't remember that being there when we walked it before for all the wetlands.
you mean the basin we built?
No. Right? Here's the basin here on my left, and if you go to the right, there's another
Yeah.
depression basin in there.
So what
That
that,
wasn't there originally.
no, we built that. So what that is if you look at the site, oh, it's right here. It's right there. That's what you're talking about. So what happens is, if you look at the grades here, and if you go right to the very top, that's kind of the break, actually, the very top of the project. It's the water all comes down that run. So one of the things we had to do, is build that to capture the runoff and direct it into the basin. We didn't want it running onto the road, and we didn't want it running over to our neighbor as well. So, yeah, we built that basin, and there should have been a flared end in there. There should have been a flared end pipe in it.
The big basin looks all done, but I'm talking about that little one,
Yeah.
depression that's next to it.
Yep, there should be a flared end in there, because they've already built all the structures and paved it. So, I haven't looked at it myself.
I think they're going to have to rehydroseed that basin.
Oh, you think so? Yeah.
Yeah, it looked
Yeah,
awful dry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, forget it. It's a terrible time of year to do anything.
Oh, yeah.
So all the planting's been done in the restoration areas, and
No, none of them have been.
nothing's happened?
No, none of that's been done. And I don't, off the top of my head, I don't know what the condition, I don't know what the condition is for that portion of the site, but, I would imagine I would be shocked if they were gonna do it this fall. It would probably be a spring thing, and maybe next fall. I'm not sure. I don't remember what the conditions were in the order of conditions for the roadway.
Okay. I assume PAR's going to be participating in what's planted out there and getting back to us.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that there was wording in the order that we had to have that pre-construction meeting. The plantings always change because they can't get what we show, so there's always substitutions. We'll have that discussion. But, and when your new agent comes online in August, I'll make sure that Bobby Baker comes up and introduces himself, and just get to know him, and then he can coordinate that with him. And I don't know off the top of my head what their construction plan is for that.
Okay.
I'll make a note.
But that's associated with the roadway, not with these houses, right?
Yeah, but it's part of the sidewalk. too.
Yeah, yeah.
So the biggest concern is, flagging it out.
Yeah,
Limits
so,
construction more than normal,
Yeah.
as a flag the limit of clearing, which we do anyways, but yeah, so we'll flag the limit of clearing, and then site walk.
Okay, any idea when you'll be flagging that? The limits?
No, I don't. I'll contact him and I'll coordinate through the office with
Okay.
Catherine or Diana and let you know when it's ready to be looked at.
Okay.
I just have a question because I'm not as familiar with the riverfront regulations. And you calculated like your allowable disturbance. Are there requirements for like replication or anything? Or because it's under,
So we
They
did,
allow-
so when we did the roadway last year,
yep,
there was a restoration plan, and as I was trying to say at the beginning here, we looked at the project as a whole.
okay,
And we looked at it as a whole, and so the restoration plan that we presented to the commission last year looks at it as a whole. So as you can see, and I can show you actually some of it right here, that heavy green, that's part of the restoration plan.
Okay.
Heavy green, heavy green, heavy green. All of that area is the riverfront restoration. And I think there's a little bit of there's no BVW restoration because we didn't alter BVW, but we filled some of the isolated wetland. So I think there's some isolated, well, there's some wetland restoration in there too. Most of that has to do with riverfront.
Okay.
Any other questions?
So, Bill, this doesn't have anything to do with the two lots, but looking at the catch basins, it seems like a good third and a couple of catch basins, maybe half, are not in the road. Is
Right.
that going to hurt the water getting into the stormwater one? Because that one there on the left is, it's double basin, the grates, but, you know, a good portion is not in the roadway. Just to capture the water instead of everything going down to the end.
So, did you notice though that there was a lip, a curb? Did you notice that Baker put a curb in on there?
Right.
So, for example, a bad example, Lawson Farms, you know how that, on that hill washed out like crazy? Because what was happening is the water, it's a roadway is crowned, right? So water hits the crown and just goes. And that's what curbing is for, is to get the water into the catch basin. There was no lip there, and it wasn't built up on the edge. Sometimes we build it up on the edge. So it just eroded it. Baker, what we did here, learning from that, was he put in a lip along the edge there. So that will act as a curbing to get it into it. I mean, I looked at it, and you're right, it's not inside of it, because when they come in, they'll come back and they'll cut that out. Let's put the granite in. It's sloped granite. Down there, it's vertical granite. So we looked at it after some of those really heavy rains, and we didn't have any problem. And the basin was dry. It was absolutely dry. But if you see an issue or a problem down there, we will get immediately on it.
Good. Just a question when we were walking it.
No, it's fine. It's good questions. Do you want to walk this? What's your plan? I know you already did. Does anybody else want to walk it?
Yeah. Well, I think I'd like to walk it after you get the limit of
work?
work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we can do that. So we've already flagged out the walls, we flagged out the buildings. Do we give you the septics?
Leaching
Yes.
fields,
We
yeah.
gave you the septics.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is now the limited clearing, which in this, we'll just make sure I understand it. So this will be the limited clearing. It's already mostly cleared actually down here, because this is where the house and pool and everything was. But this is the erosion sediment control fence. So here, along the bottom of the wall, here, and then we'll just go, we'll flag up here. We didn't put sediment control up here because we're outside the buffer, but we can extend that if you think that's appropriate. We can extend that up through this point here.
Because you got quite a grade there. It's
Yeah.
Might as well.
might
So
be a
steep.
good idea.
There's a tendency not to loom it and seed it and stuff like that until near the end, right?
Right, yes.
Yeah, will that slope be stabilized just with a grass mix, or will there be something more substantial?
So
It's not really lawn if it's that steep, right?
it's all going to be lawn. Everything we're going to do there is lawn. And they might put some landscaping in there, but it's going to be lawn probably. And these are not, they're not custom homes. So right now, these are just contractor. So I might be coming back and say, oh, this guy wants a pool, this guy wants to do this. You know, there's a modification. But as we sit here today, that's the plans. They're going to build these speculative houses in these locations. But it would definitely just be grass.
couple. Is it possible to stake out the location of the trailhead feed piece of land that's going out to the conservation land?
Up at the cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
This is center line entrance? Center line entrance of it?
Yeah.
Sure, sure.
Okay.
Anything else? Any questions, Catherine?
My only question is on the order of conditions for this. I mean, I don't know if are you going to be closing today, or are you?
Well, if we're going to do
till
a
after?
sidewalk, we'll wait till
I assumed
next
as
meeting
much.
to close
Okay.
it.
Do you want me, like, well, if it's already going to be done, that won't matter. Okay, all right. I don't have any questions. I just talked myself out of it.
All right.
So I guess what I'll need from you all is a motion to continue the public
Yes,
hearing
yep.
till August 11th again? I think we can get it done in 2 weeks' time.
2 weeks? Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's no problem.
yeah, no problem.
So I'll make a motion to continue the hearings for 4 Kinsman Way, DEP 157659, and 6 Kinsman Way, DEP 157660, to our meeting on August 11th.
I second the motion.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, none? All righty. And next thing we have is 131 Rear Moore Street, 157. Request for compliance. Is that a typo in there? 3643?
I don't know,
Seems like an extra number.
Yeah.
probably, yeah. Let's see.
I'll check the email on it, maybe it says.
Well, being that's very old, that number could be 364.
Yeah, it's probably what it is. I don't have it off the,
Yeah, probably an extra 3 added in there at the
And
end.
you wrote it up in your letter there.
yeah, what is it? That's what I was going to say. What's in my letter? Let's see.
I can take that. Get hold of Rebecca and go on to walk this one.
It's 157363.
Yeah. Okay. 363. The fingers got typed.
So that's that's an order of conditions that was done back in around 2000-ish. For some reason, I didn't bring my folder. And what that was, the owner at the time started bringing in trailers, hundreds of trailers. And actually, it's the same owner, it's Erwin Kamen. And he had leased it out, he had leased that land out to, I don't know the gentleman's name, but he was bringing in trailers and storing them, and then there was things in the trailer. So you could go and actually rent a trailer and fill it with your stuff, whatever that stuff might have been. And I want to show you pictures. And the town at the time, my perspective, was nervous about the fact that that's when the bleachery started to become an issue. And not necessarily my client, because he has nothing to do with the bleachery, but the bleachery is becoming an issue. So the town was attempting to encourage some of the people to deal with it. And one of the things is they were sending Dave Risch, who was the agent at the time, out there to do inspections of this. And back in the 80s, the town had permitted a commercial development back there. That area used to be the bleachery, and they used to be big vats, big concrete vats, probably 10, 12 foot in diameter, 10, 12 feet high, in the ground. And a gentleman came in, and he permitted this development, but he never built it. He just gravelled the site. The site is spectacular gravel.
Groundwater.
He gravelled it out. He gravelled it to groundwater. So if you went out there, like Mr. Bodie and I and Nadia went out there in April this year, and the groundwater is at the surface in some portions. So they took it down, and then they just walked away from the site. And then my client must have bought it at that point. But so I'm going to show you some pictures. I'm going on Google Maps here. So if you don't mind bearing with me for a sec. Let's see. There it is, there it is.
And when did Dave retire? How long ago was that? That was,
Oh, I don't know. A while.
it's been yeah.
Well, Jane was here 8 years.
Yeah.
It's probably been 2 years, 10 years, at least 10, 12 years.
Yeah.
So let me share this. Let me do a Zoom share. Share.
Yeah.
Screen. Share.
There we go. Almost.
Yeah.
See that?
Wow.
So this is the site. And it's not all of it, but it's the portion you can see. So if you were coming in, this is Moore Street. So you're coming from Cohasset, you go over this is Bleachery Pond. This is the buildings that are there. And then you take that hard right that goes in, you go past these buildings. And then this land all back here was the land we're talking about. And you can see how it was all gravelled out. So this is the latest one. So what year is this? This is
Yeah,
probably
that's
25.
a bunch of the trailers have been removed.
Let's go back a little bit. If you could just bear with me, I think it's pretty interesting. So here's 95. I'm going to 85, but it is usually the terrible back then. This is the first decent picture. So you can see how the site was gravelled out. And this is 20 years after a lot of it was gravelled out. And then as we move forward, so this is 2001-ish. This is kind of about when I started getting involved. And you can see that all of these trailers were moved in here. And this is an isolated wetland out here. You see it. This is obviously a spring picture. This is a December picture, so it's even worse. And this is definitely a wetland out here. And then you can see how it kind of goes along the edge here. And during high water seasons, there's water that actually runs through there. So there was, this was the point where we started to get involved, and you can see how see the trailers? The commission stepped in and started issuing orders to the person saying, too close to the wetlands, you're altering, we're not sure what's in these trailers. And so an order of conditions was issued, which is the one we were asking you for a certificate tonight. And as you can see on the plan, which I don't have, I can't put up, but you have it, one of the conditions was that in this wetland area out that falls out here, they had to plant a line of pine trees and then some meadow.
Put a
meadow
berm in
mix,
there.
trying to keep it 25 feet away. Even though the 25 feet doesn't apply to isolated wetlands, he said, fine, that's fine. And so that was done. And if you go out there today, I mean, those were 5-foot arborvitaes. Am I exaggerating? They're 50-foot arborvitaes today. You could stand out here, out in this edge, and you can see the tops of them over the trees. So we went out there and located the ones that are still alive. There's still a good number of them that are still alive. The meadow mix, I have no idea. I mean, I'm sure that they got put down and then went away. And then over here on this edge, which was that little stream I was telling you about, he went in and filled a piece of it. So he was required to open it up, which he did.
Yeah.
And then that's it. And then he just sat on it and never did anything. His daughter and his son-in-law own Fine Landscaping, which he sold 2 acres of this to them, or he gave it to them, and they run their landscape business out of it. And it's, as you go to the edge of the road, it's right there. It's not way in the back or anything. So we did a sidewalk, as I stated, and I think we did another walk a year or two ago. And so the discussion we had was, get rid of the trailers, was basically it. Get rid of the trailers, and then we'll consider issuing you a certificate of compliance. So I was out there last week, and see those trailers? They're gone. Every trailer is gone from there. There's one trailer, I think, left, and it's not on the site. It's on the 2 acres that is run, the landscape company owns it. So that's what we issued that. I told them that we would not file for this request until the trailers were removed. The trailers have been removed. Most of those trees are still alive. We showed you the trees that are still there and where they were supposed to, and that the area opened up to the left where they filled in the stream. That was, again, opened up. This was all probably done 22, 23 years ago, but they never bothered filing for a certificate of compliance. So that's the long story.
It's been a long saga, too.
Yeah. I was telling Mr. Bodie that there's the contractor, they want to sell it there's a contractor who wants to sell it. And I think he was hoping that he could come in and just, start parking stuff in there. And I said, no, that's not going to happen because the parking that was done without a permit. So you can't go in and say, oh, I'm just continuing a use. That new use was never permitted. So if he does buy it and does do what he wants to do, he will be back to see you, whether I'm the engineer or not, I don't know. And he has to go see the planning board as well. So you'll have control. You'll be able to impact what's going on with it going forward.
Any questions, comments? Would you like to make a motion?
Sure, I'll make a motion to issue a certificate of compliance for 131 Rear Moore Street, DEP 157363.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Okay, thank you.
I'm done, right? Am I done?
Because I think
you're
we're
done.
mostly done. We just have some minutes.
Minutes, yes.
Oh, okay. All right, you want to do the minutes, Rebecca?
Yeah, so I reviewed the minutes from our May 19th meeting. I thought they were thorough and accurate. I didn't have any corrections. Does anybody else have any comments or corrections for those from the May 19th meeting?
Nope.
Then I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes from 5/19/25.
I'll second the motion.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right.
And then I reviewed the minutes from June 9th, 2025. I wasn't in attendance for that meeting, but I watched the recording of it. Again, I thought that the minutes were thorough and accurate, and I didn't have any corrections. Anybody else have any comments or corrections?
No.
Then I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from 6/9/25.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thanks.
Thank you. With that, do I hear a motion?
Go for it.
Everybody wants to stay?
Make a motion to close the meeting?
Second?
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. And good night.